Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast, Retro Life for You. My name is Chris Adams, host of the show, and with me today is the sidekick to me being the hero, Travis
Don't I
Robbins.
look don't I look stoic?
I mean, you
Do I
look
look
like
stoic?
there's several ways we can look at this. We can look at you as being like you're old school or something on like old school film because
Right?
you're almost black and white. I mean, you may
I
as well be
know.
black and white because you're outside with
We
the
got
flickering of a fire. Closer
right.
you get to the camera, the more you can tell. It's not black and white, but
Yeah,
you get that darkness around you. See, this is what you should have done when we were talking about the horror movies.
I know. I thought about that. That and
Yeah,
my little 5 pixel forward facing camera here.
see, you could have done that then. See, and that's another thing. The camera gives you the old feel. Probably it's like you look like you
Mm,
belong on VHS.
Surprising goodly it's a surprisingly good little camera though.
No, it's a good camera. I mean, when I say you look like you belong on VHS, it's because it's dark outside. And you get the flickering of the
Yeah.
flames around you. I mean, it can't be
And I've got
helped.
the background blur. I've got the portrait thing going here for the y'all that can't see it.
Yeah, can't really be helped. It's good though. It's good. How's your
Look
week
at
been?
this. Oh, it's been a rough week.
Oh, look, every time I ask this and you start out with, oh, I'm like, oh no, what did they do to him now?
This week, yeah, this week's been terrible. I cut my eyeball, the
I've seen that.
eyeball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I was wearing safety glasses. We think what happened was a piece of metal got stuck in my contact, and when I went to take my contact out, I slid it across my eye and just filleted it open a little bit there.
Mm.
But I'm a man,
And what are they
and
gonna
I
do?
got to go get my permanent cap put on tomorrow, and had a follow up on this done. So I'm having to take a day off of work. So that's not good either.
Tell them they'll be fine.
How was your weekend? Surely you have had a better weekend than I've had.
Well,
I have much more I could tell too, but
you know, being a fan of college football
yeah.
and being that my team has never really amounted to much of anything over its entire career that I've watched them,
Oh no.
with the
We
exception of a few years, because
Washington.
we had a man by the name of James
Washington.
Franklin here coaching at one point at Vanderbilt University.
Really?
And James Franklin took us to three straight bowl games or four straight bowl games, which was
That,
unheard of for this school.
I've been
And then
saying
he,
Vandy
no,
ain't trash the whole time.
oh man, they have been trash. All
Yeah.
right, 2-9, 3-8, 1-10. Come on,
For how many years?
a lot of years. Some
Oh,
years we had like 4-7. The occasional 5-6 record would pop up, and we'd feel like we were doing something good, and we wasn't. We're still losing record. However,
right.
this year, third year coach Clark Lee has finally found a way to do some things. He brought some people over from New Mexico State. We had a lot of transfers from New Mexico State come over, including our current quarterback, Mr. Diego Pavia. And
Okay.
his claim to fame now is he knocked out Alabama. They were number one coming to here to Nashville to play a few weeks ago, and they knocked them out. Alabama never led in
Wow.
the game or anything. Vanderbilt had come into that game really and truly. They should have been undefeated. They had a couple of minor setbacks, like mental mistakes that lost them two games they shouldn't have lost.
Mm-hmm.
But they just keep winning. They beat Auburn this weekend. That put them to 6-3. We're bowl eligible for the first time in about 7 or 8 years, I guess.
Wow. Sounds like you found yourselves a hero.
I'm just saying, I was just thinking about that song. I need a hero, and they've been playing so good,
Yeah.
and here we are this week talking
About
heroes
heroes.
and villains.
Absolutely. You can't have a
And
hero if you don't have a villain.
that's right. And my villain would be the UT Vols because they're
Mm.
they're in-state rival, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
A lot of my family loves the
Yeah.
Vols.
Yeah.
A lot of friends of mine love the Vols. I'm not trashing the Vols or anything. That's for
Yeah. Yeah.
that's for a different type of podcast. But I
Yeah.
mean,
It's cool when I go to Tennessee or Louisiana wearing my orange for
mhm,
Clemson. Fit right
yeah.
in. And got the balls and
You threw
the balls
Clemson in there real quick.
and Auburn.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this week we're going to pick. We're gonna have a top five. We haven't done a top five in a while.
Yeah.
And when I say top five,
Technically, it's a
understand
top 10. technically at the top 10.
Well, I mean, technically it's 10 people, but it's 5 heroes, 5 villains.
Yeah, from each of us.
So understand that it's not really our top five because it's so hard with all these names to pick an exact top five. So, five of my favorite heroes, five of my favorite villains of the movies of the 1980s.
Same, same. And we're gonna throw some of the big ones out there for sure. But I think we're gonna surprise some people and have some lesser some heroes and villains of lesser fame, so to
Right.
speak.
Yeah, I mean, like people you wouldn't think of being mentioned in a top five because you're thinking of all the big ones that are out there. The smaller
Yeah,
ones you would think would
like
get mentioned, but
Rambo.
I want to throw some some love at other places, and then we'll have honorable mentions. And the honorable mentions may have some of them big ones out there that we would have normally used.
Rambo and Rocky and
But it's
uh
but see, it's okay if
Frank Duke. No, Dutch.
Dutch. See, it's okay to use those,
Yeah.
but I don't want to make my entire top five list them. So I think I may pick one or two big ones,
Oh, what
and
was
the
his
rest
name
of
in
them
Commando?
Matrix.
Matrix. John Matrix.
Right, we're full of Johns
Yeah,
when it comes to heroes.
full of Johns.
So that being said, do you want to go first this week, or should I go first?
I'm gonna kick us off. I'm gonna go ahead and well, if I'm gonna kick us
Well,
off, I'm
hold on,
gonna.
hold on. How are we doing this? Are we giving a hero and a villain, or just gonna say
That's
we'll go down the list of one and list the other?
I would say yeah, that we can do that, or we can bounce back and forth, or whatever. If I'm gonna kick it off, I'm gonna kick it off with a villain though.
Okay,
So you want to go? We'll go. We'll do it backwards then, since the villains don't get no love. We'll do the villain first. How
we'll
about
do
that?
the villains first, then we'll go to our five heroes.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
So my first villain, which we said we got to knock some of the big guys off the list. My first villain's going to automatically knock a big guy off my list. My first villain, just out of love and respect and paying homage to him, is Thulsa Doom,
Also,
the
do
man who taught us the riddle of steel. Yes, you know it, don't you, boy?
I
Did I tell you?
knew I knew there'd be Conan people in here somewhere with you.
Absolutely, I gotta have Thulsa Doom. So that knocks Conan off my hero list, though. I'm not gonna put Conan on because it's so obvious. And like I said, we're not going with the bigger guys. And I think that Conan the Barbarian is, while everybody loves it and knows it, I don't think it's considered Arnold's big '80s movie, even though it's my absolute favorite.
Yeah,
Thulsa Doom is to me one of the more complex villains out there, especially from that time, just because of the things with the riddle of steel and the way that he was teaching people things, even though it was crazy to us. It's kind of akin to Thanos. You know what I mean? His
right.
reasoning was sound to him. You know, but yeah, gotta go with Thulsa Doom, man. James
Okay.
Earl Jones with a fake perm. Yeah, that wig on.
I am.
Yeah.
Well, it's the sad thing is when you said it, I just pictured it automatically in my
He
head.
had bangs too.
Um,
I love it because he had bangs.
the bangs is what gets me, man. That's what gets me. Oh my gosh! All right, I too will go the same line as you,
Okay.
because if I mention the villain, I'd have to mention the hero. They're direct opposite of each other, so I will leave that hero off my list
Okay.
and only bring up the villain, which is going to be Jack Nicholson as the Joker.
Nice. I like it.
Gotta have some Joker. He played an excellent Joker. The way they portrayed it
Yeah,
and
it.
everything.
I
He's my
mean,
favorite one of all time. So
there. I was just gonna say, people, even the people that gotta respect Heath Ledger, the older crowd, still say, they'll be like, "Look, Heath was awesome, but Jack," or they'll be like, it's a toss up between Jack and Heath.
but you feel like when you're comparing the two, Heath Ledger played a great Joker in the Dark Knight series.
Right, just like Jared Leto played a great Joker in the Suicide Squad. He was at home in his setting.
Yeah. So I mean these right here
And
wasn't
there's
really the
posters. I don't know if you've seen these or not, but it's really cool too. They'll take all the Jokers and it's like a poster, and they have whatever their what their mental insanity is. So you got the psychopath, the sociopath, the anarchist, and it goes down the line for what each Joker's crazy is, and it
Yeah,
kind of makes you go, okay, well, you know what, that may actually makes sense.
I can see that. I haven't seen the poster, but it sounds like it may be a definitely make a good point of it. Um,
Yeah,
that when you talk about like I said, the one with Jack Nicholson, that wasn't the Dark Knight series for Batman. It was just more
right.
of a I don't
That's
know how to
OG.
explain it. Yeah, I mean, you did. It's not like you had Batman and Robin or anything at the time yet. It was just Batman still doing his thing, cleaning up Gotham. And then the Joker, he was so it was like bright and colorful, always wearing purple and everything, and he stood
Mhm.
out. And Jack Nicholson's his humor and sarcasm for it was spot on. So,
Yeah.
definitely got to go with that one. What would be your second villain
I'm
of
gonna go
choice?
off. I'm gonna go slap off the rails. I'm gonna change my mind. I'm gonna use one of my backups,
Okay.
and I'm gonna go with Biff Tannen.
Wow. You got one of mine, man, right there.
Did I really?
That's cool though. I'll go ahead and
Right
knock him off.
on.
Yeah, I'm not gonna knock him off my list. Make sure I don't
Yeah, I
try to
gotta
use
go
him.
with Biff, man. The
But make like a
hilarity.
tree and
Make
get
like
out of
a tree
here,
and get out of
okay?
here. Yeah, Biff was as integral to the movie as Marty and Doc, man.
Oh,
Couldn't
you're
couldn't
right.
have done it without Biff. He's he's Bluto to Popeye, you know?
Right. Right. That's actually a very good pick. I love that pick. When I was going through earlier writing down my list too, I was like, man, how can you not have Biff Tannen on there?
Yeah.
So I wrote that down.
And
And
he was like throughout the three movies too. He was there.
yeah,
He
yeah,
was a constant
he was a
pain.
big part in all three movies for what his role was supposed to be. It was great. It was great. I was sticking along the same lines of you. Then I'm gonna try
Okay.
to
What's that?
whichever direction you go, I'm gonna try to go that direction with
I
you.
dig it. I dig it.
And I got a choice between two people here that I could choose from that match what where you're going with this. Um, I think I'm gonna go with Ed Rooney.
Ed Rooney.
That's right.
Uh-oh. My
The
Rolodex is flipping.
the villain to Mr. Ferris Bueller.
Oh, dude,
The
that's a good one.
principal, Ed
Yeah, the
Rooney.
principal. That's
Always
a
trying
good
to
one.
always trying to bust him and get him in trouble for missing that very
Yeah,
last day and everything. Uh Goes
I
as
dig it.
far as to go into his house and try to break in the house, and the sister gets scared by him and kicks him and everything in the face
Yeah,
500 times.
I love it.
Uh,
That's a great one.
I was debating earlier whether I really wanted to go with Ed Rooney or not, but I was like, man, that'd be such a funny pick though for a villain.
That
Because
is a funny one.
when
That's
you
a
think
good
of
one.
villains, you're thinking of really bad people, right? You're thinking Darth
Yeah,
Vader. You're
right.
thinking, real the
Jack
Pinhead.
Torrance from The Shining.
Yeah, yeah, or
Yeah,
Pinhead from Hellraiser. It's really evil, bad
absolutely.
people. And then you look
Freddy
at Ed
Krueger,
Rooney, and
Jason.
look, as far as bringing Ed Rooney up, though, he was the bad guy in Howard the Duck, also the Dark Overlord.
Oh, was he?
Yes.
Was okay. So now check this out though. I feel like that the bug from Men in Black was a direct, like I feel like dude like directly did that from Howard the Duck. The my friend brought in a cat because at the end of the movie he started sounding just like that.
They could have. Might have been a little throw a little homage
I
to it or
think that's what
something.
it
Who
was.
knows?
I think that's what it was.
Man. All
So
right. So we
that's
got
number two. So number
so we got
three,
Tulsa Doom, and you got
Biff Tannen.
Biff Tannen, and I
You
got
got
the Joker and Ed Rooney. So what's
the
your third
Joker
one?
and Ed Rooney. All right, let's get over to. I'll come back to a good fun one, but let's go over to another real villain, and I'm gonna go with another head and go with Pumpkinhead.
Pumpkinhead. All right.
Pumpkinhead, dude. Pumpkinhead was the spirit of vengeance, I suppose. Those of y'all that haven't seen Pumpkinhead, it's great. It's got well, who is it? Ed. It's not Ed O'Neill, but it's that dude that's on. He's always creepy. You know what I mean? The dude
I'm
that
not.
played the dad that brought the spirit of Pumpkinhead. He went to the witch and brought the spirit of the Pumpkinhead back. Uh, but yeah, creepy movie. And the scary thing about Pumpkinhead is that Pumpkinhead is a demon of vengeance, but Pumpkinhead is smart. So like one of my favorite parts of the movie where they were running from Pumpkinhead and they were going to their dirt bikes. Well, when they tried to they Lance Ed Harley was his name in the movie. His name is Lance Henriksen.
Yeah.
But anyway, the bikes crank up, but when they go to drive away, the bikes don't go nowhere. And then you look up the hill, and the hill's all backlit with like strobe lights and fog, and there stands Pumpkinhead, and like on one long fingernail, he holds up the bike chain. So it's like, oh no. And the animatronics or whatever, the special effects, makeup, creature effects, whatever you want to call it from that time,
Right.
were just simply magnificent.
Man,
So
that's a good one. It's a good pick.
I
Definitely a good
love
pick.
me some Pumpkinhead.
And I told you I would stick along the same lines of you if I could and everything. So
All right,
I
hit
am
us up
fully
on
I am fully prepared to match Pumpkinhead with another slasher
it. Okay.
because you know how I feel about this particular horror series being my absolute favorite.
Mm-hmm.
So Pumpkinhead better watch out. He might find out that while he's out there roaming the world looking for something for himself, he might find a little song playing in the background
Mm-hmm.
with little girls jump roping and everything, and
Yeah.
he might see some Freddy.
What
He might see some
you
Freddy Krueger.
coming for you? Some Freddy.
I
Freddy's the
mean, it just.
ultimate baddie, dude.
I mean, he's the ultimate baddie for sure. I mean, you can't. It's like you can't kill him. It seems like he's. Well, we discussed this a couple of weeks ago in our
Absolutely.
month of October horror movies.
Yeah.
Elm Street was the one that we did, and yeah, he's just
And
the
scared
ultimate
millions.
bad guy.
I mean, scared millions of kids
That is true.
in real life. Yes, sir. Great pick. Well, we did a whole show on Freddy, so I guess we're going to jump on over to my number four then.
Oh, we should do that. What is your number four?
My number four is the Super Shredder. I'm gonna go with Super Shredder from the
Ooh,
Ninja Turtles.
you know what? I did not even think of Shredder.
Dude, Shredder was great at the end when he pumped himself with all of the ooze and he
Right?
was busting down dude, I remember being a kid watching that, man, and he come through the dock like busting down the stuff. Dude, dude. Like as a kid, you really believed the turtles was in trouble, man. And then that thing collapsed, boy. Yeah,
I
Shredder was a monster, boy.
I can't believe I didn't even give any consideration to Shredder. The thought never crossed my mind.
Oh, nice. I
Honestly, it
got a
never
good
did.
one then.
Yeah, you did. It never did cross my mind. And I don't have one to match, I don't think, the Shredder in that sense. So, I mean, I love the original Ninja Turtle movies that came out. Thought they were fun.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Uh, Secret of the Ooze is probably my favorite of the three.
For sure. Toka
Um,
and Razor
yeah. So, I mean, that
and
was
the
probably
Ninja Rap.
Go Ninja, Go Ninja,
Go,
Go.
Ninja, go.
And
And
we had, of course,
Kinu, and you met Kinu.
yeah, yeah.
So, and Kinu was, I
Ernie
think,
Reyes Jr.
Donatello in the first movies. He was the suit actor.
Right, right. And so that's, man, a lot of good stuff.
All right. Well, shoot. Just throw a dart at your list then and see what you come
Oh,
up with.
man. Because I've only got three more to work with, and I got such a big list here, man.
Oh, man.
Um, I will go since you went with Shredder, Super Shredder. I will pick somebody who could shred some people himself if he wanted to. He had many
Mm,
different tactical weapons to use. He
okay.
was very evasive. You'd
Oh,
almost say chameleon like.
oh.
He prefers the cover of trees in the jungle, and
This is
um,
oh no way, dude! You just got one of mine. I know who you
uh,
got. I know he makes that funny sound.
a
That weird
strike
clicking
back to
sound.
you. Hey, it's a strike back to you for taking
Yeah,
my
you
other one,
got
my Biff Tannen. So I'm gonna go with the Predator.
heck yeah.
Got to go
Nice.
because who didn't really? I know he's the bad guy, but you got to love him too, though. I mean, because it's just
Oh yeah,
to see all the neat the gadgets, and you're like, once again, you're like my Joker I
dude.
picked. Where does he get these wonderful toys?
Where does he get these wonderful toys? And you know what? When you think about it too, though, like aside from Draco Malfoy and what's his name, the little butthole print Joffrey from Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
What bad guy have you really hated? Like, I mean, most bad guys are turned out pretty cool. Oh, well,
right.
there are a few more, like Hans Gruber. I don't think anybody liked Hans Gruber. He wasn't a
No,
cool bad
I don't.
guy.
I don't think so.
But most of the big baddies, though, most of the big baddies actually got a fan base.
That is true.
Yeah,
And now I'm stuck here.
especially
I'm looking at my list here, and I'm stuck. I got three picked down. I'm looking at them going, man, how am I going to fit these other 15 in here?
I know, right? Well, I got my number five. I can't not pick him. I'm gonna go with my number five because we're talking about how the big baddies they got to follow, and I got to go with I must break you.
Oh, Ivan
Guys, he
Drago.
dies. Ivan Drago, dude. Like
Good pick. Good pick.
we said, we wasn't gonna go with the big dudes, so that crosses Rambo off my list. So, which we already said Rambo like four times. So we know everybody will be very clear that we're not going with those great. You know what I mean? Like
And you
let's
know,
go without speaking. It's like talking about anime and not. You know what I mean? Like when we talk about anime, what's the best anime besides Dragon Ball? You know what I mean? Anything that probably I would say Indiana Jones, uh, anything that Arnold did, and anything that uh, Sylvester did during the 80's, it goes without saying. Like that's on the list by default.
yeah. And I will say I messed up. I told you I had three picked. I've got four picked. That was your fifth one right there, wasn't it?
That was my fifth, yeah.
Yeah, your fifth and final. So
So
mine,
your fifth and finals next.
my fifth and final, man, I got to pick it between two people here. I got to pick
Oh,
between these two. There's more on here than just that, but I mean, two in particular. Man, I'm gonna go outside of the normal, I guess. Here, I'm gonna take General Zod.
dude, I had that right down as a backup.
Yeah, from Superman 2, General
Yep, but I
Zod.
crossed him out right there. You can see. Oh no, don't look at my list. I've
No,
got the rest
don't
of my
see your
names on
list,
it.
dude. I want to see
Yep,
the
no,
rest of them.
yeah, I really did. I had Zod as one of my backups.
All right, so since our bad guys are over with, and of course, this General Zod was played by what was the guy's name? He was also in Young Guns.
Oh, I don't remember the original General Zod from what
I
is
don't
that?
know. I
Superman
don't know
two.
why I can't think of his name off the top of my head. It's not that important, really, but
Yeah,
because we're not really breaking, cast down or anything like that. But
right.
yeah, General Zod. It was tough between him and this other one. So to go ahead with our villains
Terrence
and
Stamp.
Terrence Stamp. There you go. Finish breaking our
He was
villains
John
down.
Turnstile. John Turney. John Turnstile. John
Tunstall.
Tunstall.
Was he Tunstall
Something like that.
or was Tunstall the guy
Ain't
who
that right,
was
John? I see. I'm a pugilist. No, it's you and I. Ain't that right, John?
you and I?
That's, dude, one of the golly bum, one of the best movies ever made, ever.
That is one of the best movies ever. How many more bad guys do you have listed on there?
For backups, I've got okay. I crossed these out when you talked about them earlier. So I got one, two, three, four, five. And if I throw in Hans Gruber because I wrote it down,
Well, so
I got
let's go
six
ahead and
more.
let's go ahead and give honorable mention to the ones we didn't pick. Then go ahead and give
Okay, I
me
dig it.
the rest of yours that you didn't pick that are your honorable mentions.
Okay, the rest of mine was going to be Pinhead, Freddy, Chucky, Skeletor, Hans
Until we meet
Gruber.
again.
And I did have Jack. I actually I had Jack Torrance written down.
Eh,
Oh, you know what? I did have another one written down that I missed because it was right under Predator. And once I wrote Predator down, I had to write down Alien,
yeah,
the Xenomorph.
yeah, why not?
Had to put in the Xenomorph, man. What were yours?
Well, mine, I didn't have to take him off, but I scratched him off
Yeah.
because I'm sitting there thinking about not wanting to take too many big name villains, but I had Darth Vader written down.
Mm-hmm. You got to write Vader down. You know what you
John
could have done? You could have went with Palpatine.
could have. I had, I thought about it, but Vader was more of the big bad for a long time, trained by
He was.
Palpatine.
True, true.
Um, but the reason, one of the main reasons why I chose not to go with him, not just because he's
It's
one of the
obvious.
big ones, is because of the Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
So I mean, I felt like it wasn't a good enough pick to be one of the best villains since he turns.
Yeah, because
Um,
well, not only that, didn't the original Star Wars come out in the 70s?
yes.
The very first one?
So all we had to
Okay,
work with
there you
was
go.
Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
The bad guy in Empire Strikes Back for sure,
Yeah.
but Return of the
But we
Jedi
got
was,
James Earl
was
Jones
cool.
in there. Rest in peace on Thoughts of Doom. So
Yeah, well,
you got kicked out on a technicality,
he's still
Mufasa.
represented, right? He's still represented,
Yeah. Can't believe you
regardless.
kicked Mufasa off the cliff like that.
I'm sorry. Speaking of kicking him off the cliff, who would have kicked him off the cliff? Johnny Lawrence would have.
Johnny Lawrence, he would have.
Yeah, I got Johnny Lawrence as one. I had Hans
That
Gruber
is
written
a
down.
phenomenal pick.
But
Johnny
Johnny,
is a phenomenal pick.
you got to pick Johnny Lawrence as a bad guy. He's the ultimate
Yeah,
bully in the 80s.
he was, even though he was actually the good guy.
Also, we've had this discussion
Covert,
before. I mean,
covert,
you know,
covert. Yeah.
it could have been looked at different ways.
I love how
Uh,
they did Cobra Kai too. How they made Danny look like a butthole. Like
yeah,
dude, you're always jumping the gun, LaRusso. Calm down.
right.
Who's your others?
Hans Gruber, I wrote him down.
Nice.
I wrote down Jason Voorhees,
Good one. Good one.
the Fratellis.
Dude,
I know.
how did that would have went against Shredder perfectly. The Fratellis. Oh my God, hello
I didn't
guys.
know how well it would have
That's
fit,
great. I didn't even
and
think of that one.
I was fighting between Rooney and the Fratellis.
Dude, I cannot believe I didn't think of the Fratellis either. That's a great one.
And my last one was the T-800 Terminator.
Oh yeah, the
So
T-800.
that would be all of our bad guys. So
Heck
moving on,
yeah.
sir. Moving on
So
to
do you
our.
want to go first on the good guys, on the
You know what?
heroes?
I can do that. I can do that.
Oh,
I'll go first. And there's no way I will ever pass up on this one guy, even though he's one of the big names.
yeah, I
For,
know. I
but
know.
well, big name superhero. I'm sorry,
He
big
made the
name,
list.
big name hero who did make the
Yeah,
list, but
I'm sure
he's
he just
not.
made the list.
He's not played for. He's not played by one of your major 1980s stars,
Oh, really?
but it's a major character.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe it isn't who I thought it was going to be.
It may not be. You're probably thinking I'm going to take one JJR.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, I'm going with the blue
Oh
lightsaber
no.
wielding Luke Skywalker.
Oh wow.
Yes.
That's awesome.
May the force be with
Yeah,
me.
that's
That's all I
very
can
good.
say.
Yeah, Force be with you. I was thinking you were going to go with your one of your all time favorite movies.
You talking about the Rambo?
Nope, nope, nope.
Oh, I was talking
I
about
don't want to
Rambo.
say it because he might still be on the list.
Okay. All right. Well,
You might be on the list.
on the list. Uh,
Yeah, you just made it.
You just made the list.
Bam, there it is.
that's right. Yeah, I mean, I found it hard not to pick him because I
Yeah,
mean, growing up, Star Wars was a huge thing to a lot of us. Lightsaber
absolutely.
battles are huge. Him using the Force and learning how to use the Force, and all that good stuff. And he was a good guy through both the movies available in the 80s.
Absolutely, man.
So
You got to
that's
have one or
my
two of them.
that's my first major. And of all my picks down here, I've got quite a few big star names on there that I'm probably just not going to take. like I want to, but I want to be different. So
Right.
that's my first one though. Who do you get for your first one?
Like that. My first one, I'm going to go with the opposition to one of my backups, and I'm going to go with Ripley from Aliens.
Ripley. I did not put Ripley down anywhere on my list. That's
From
awesome.
Aliens, yeah, I got to go with Ripley, man. Sigourney Weaver. She started the feel kind of like she started the strong woman wave, man. She was like the first. I feel like, yeah, I'm thinking real hard here. I feel like she was the first leading lady hero. I really do. As far as I can
As far as
recall.
movies go, probably so.
Yeah, as far as big time movies,
Yeah. I
Yeah, I
said
feel
here,
like Ripley
I
did it.
hear Sigourney Weaver, and all I can think of is Jeff Foxworthy jokes now.
Oh my God, boy, that's Sigourney Weaver. It's a sexy woman. And why don't you let Sigourney Weaver cook you a meatloaf?
Exactly. That's great. I like
And
it
she
when
was
people know my references. I do.
right.
Yeah, so-
And she was phenomenal in Avatar too. Both of them, Way of Water. She actually acted. She did the voice acting for the younger guy, basically her daughter. But
yeah,
yeah, that was cool. Yeah.
cool. All right. Well,
Number two.
number two for me, I am going to go with the person that we all wanted to learn karate from.
Really?
I am taking Mr. Miyagi.
That's a good pick. That's a good pick, dude. That's a good one.
Rescues Daniel-san from getting his butt whipped at Halloween.
Yep.
Well, he rescued him twice that day. He made him an outfit to go to the dance with where he could stay concealed and not be seen. He was a
Right.
walking, roaming shower.
Mm-hmm.
And then he helped him as he's being chased down by the Cobra Kai kids and kicks
Yep.
their butts and saves him from getting much more of a beating than he took. Then he taught him how to defend himself.
Yeah.
So
That's a good.
that's
That's a really good.
that's definitely a hero right there. So
No doubt.
Pat Morita, that no one thought could play the role, nailed it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Who didn't know 1 ounce of karate?
not one,
That's
not one. He was a
all right.
comedian. You know, he was a
Hey,
comedian and everything. And but he pulled off the voice. Miyagi Miyagi say
wax on,
the
wax
wax
off,
off and the wax on and the show me
and
on the floor and
sand the floor. What about the
I don't think
was Karate Kid 2 the one with the butt with the drum
with the
to
drums, yeah, the drums,
learn how to twist?
and it was the voice that got him the role more than
Oh,
anything.
for sure. Yeah.
The way he sounded and the way him and Daniel or Ralph Macchio read together and everything. That's
Yeah.
what really landed him the role as Miyagi. So, but great character and
Hmm.
fun movies. So,
For sure. Well, I'm gonna go with another one who I guess could arguably be a big. I feel like this is actually the actor is huge, but I feel like the character and the movie became more of a cult type thing. But it was so significant to, I I guess it'd be pop culture, but it was so significant that one of the biggest video games ever made, the character was based on his character. And there's been many other games and movies that were based on Snake Plissken in Escape from New York. So, and then later they did Escape from LA. But
yeah,
yeah, Metal Gear Solid Snake was based on Snake Plissken. That's the developers of the video game even said that. So yeah,
great pick.
the
I almost put Snake Plissken on my list, but I didn't.
right, the first wasn't Kurt Russell. He was the first
And
one that they told us was a member of the $1 million club. He got $1 million a movie.
could
Remember
be,
that?
yeah. Yeah, the only
I
reason
think
why I didn't, there's only, I'll tell you in just a minute, but um, that's definitely a great pick. I had so many picks on my list already.
I
I said
felt
I got
like it was
one,
a
two,
wonderful
three, four,
movie
five,
too.
six, seven,
We're gonna
eight,
have to do
nine.
Escape from New York one
Look,
episode because it was really like it built on the dystopian future, and then it had that feel of the old gangster movies like The Warriors, and then I mean, just I like the movie was just great.
Well, I got
Just add
12
to it.
heroes on here. I had to pick and choose from. So
Oh Lord.
I
1,
didn't want to
2,
add Snake Plissken for yet a 13th one at this point.
9, 10, 11. You only had one more than me. I got 11 written down. But actually, Rambo, Indiana Jones, and Conan got marked off.
All right. So I'm at Skywalker and Miyagi. You're at
Mhm.
Ripley and Snake
Snake
Plissken.
Plissken.
All right. Number 3 for me. And the reason why I didn't go with, or I didn't bring up and add on Snake Plissken anyway,
Hmm.
is because, well, Kurt Russell was already being represented on my list.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of cult classics,
Here it comes. Here it comes. He made the list.
he
You just made the list.
he basically is quick on the reflexes.
Yep.
Okay, great storyteller on the CB.
Hmm.
I mean, when you come to you, you tell them, you look them square in the eye, you tell them, check is in the mail.
Checks in the mail.
I think I'm going to go with Jack Burton.
Yep.
The man rescued all of Chinatown basically from Lopan.
The whole thing.
Although his
He
sidekick
fought
did all the
Raiden.
fighting.
He fought Raiden.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
dropped a rock on his head anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
He
That's who I thought your
punched.
first pick was going to be.
Now he did punch lightning a couple of times in the face for his no
Yeah.
effect whatsoever. So you thought Jack Burton was my first pick?
I did. I thought you were going with Big Trouble in Little China. Big Trouble in Little China.
Big Trouble in Little China. No, I did not. So
Yeah.
matter of
That's
fact,
huge.
none of my major names on this list is going to get picked for the heroes. I can see it right now. I'm going to leave them off, and they'll be my honorable mentions. And I don't want to go the easy path or anything. So
Yeah.
I've got my third one down. What is your third one, sir?
So I got nothing but really kind of big ones left, to be honest. So I guess one of mine. I'm gonna say this one's really good. I'm gonna save it. Let's go with Riggs.
Martin Riggs. I did not put Martin
Go with
Riggs down.
Riggs. I gotta go with Riggs from Lethal Weapon.
It's a good pick, though.
Martin Riggs. Yeah.
Almost like a one-man army in a
His
sense.
dog biscuit. Yeah, I love his dog biscuit problem because even as a kid, I understood that joke. Every time he tried to lick himself, he fell off the couch.
That's great.
Love it. Yeah, you can't beat Riggs, man. And I don't know if anybody. I haven't finished watching it, and they said the guy that played Riggs left the show, and Sean Scott Williams, which I'm good with that. I'll keep watching it. Came in as a different character. I don't know if they killed Riggs off or not, but the show, the reboot television
Yeah, the
show that they
TV
did for it,
series. Yeah.
man, it's good. The guy
I,
playing Riggs is phenomenal. I did not think I was going to like it, but I actually really, really like it.
yeah, I don't know. I think they had I think they couldn't get along. The guy that played Riggs with everybody else in the show. So
Maybe
they dropped him, I think, and then brought in Sean William Scott as a different character
Sean Williams Scott, not Sean Scott Williams. Yeah.
to play him. And
Stifler, for those of you that don't know.
yeah, Stiffmeister.
To Stiffmeister. But yeah, no, it is a good show. It's a really good show.
All right.
Really good show. Right here for you. We have a really good show.
For you.
I'm not even supposed to know that.
Number
Growing
4.
up on Billy Crystal and all the old comedians doing impressions of Marv Albert and people that I didn't know.
Was it Marv Albert that he was doing, or was it?
I don't know if that was Marv or not. That was no, Marv was the one. Yeah, that was the one the dude did the Arnold impression on. Right here on this very show. It was Ed Sullivan?
It sounds like Ed Sullivan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Real late night show.
Yeah.
And
Number 4.
That was a show to be on at the time too. If you
Oh
remember
yeah,
late night shows.
Ed Sullivan show for sure.
But yeah, number 4 for me. You spoke earlier of video games.
I did.
And video game being made all about him and everything, and all that good stuff. Well, this video game wasn't made after the person playing it, but it was a test. It was a
Mhm.
very solid test that he passed with flying colors. And uh, Mr. Alex Rogan was basically being recruited by the Star League to defend the frontier against Zur and the Kodan Armada.
Yeah.
I am wearing the T-shirt again today, representing
Yeah.
the last Starfighter.
And he
Alex
got the poster.
Rogan is my next
And he got the
hero on the
poster on the
list.
wall. And he got the
I'm
poster
not,
on the
and the
wall.
and the posters on the wall. Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Alex Rogan is the next one, and that's number 4 on my list. There,
I gotta cross that out.
he saved the universe, including many planets, including Earth, according to Greg.
And you know what? We've said it a million times, but what was so cool about that movie was the time that it for us, the time period that it was out. For me, anyway. I know you got maybe 3 years on me, but the time period that it came out for me, I like you. Just a child's imagination. It's like that could happen to me one day. You know what I mean? Like it was just so cool, man. That
Yeah,
movie was so cool.
yeah. I mean,
Just
you could
cool is the only word that can describe it. It was just the coolest movie.
put that to anything that you did growing up. Put it to any video game that you thought was hard to play, like it was a test. It was testing your knowledge, testing your speed,
Yeah, man.
testing your reflexes, and you finally master it all. And you're
When
like,
did that when did
how
that
neat
dude
would
write
it
Ender's
be?
Game? Because
Huh?
I think when did that guy write the Ender's Game novel? Because Ender's
I
Game is basically the last Starfighter.
I don't remember.
Man.
Don't remember. But I mean, I'm thinking, and it's the same thing with me. In my late teen years playing laser tag. If you get pretty decent at that, you're like, what
Yeah.
if? What if
What
it was a test?
what if the CIA shows up and they want me?
Because I was able to bounce a shot off the floor, off the wall, nothing but back of the panel.
There
That's
you go.
right. We want Adams. Now, just understand, Adams, you can't bounce your bullet off the floor and off the wall. You'll shoot a hole in the floor or your foot, one of the two. Don't do that. That's not good. We don't do Barney Fifes here, okay? We don't do no cheddar
No Barney
bobs,
Pop.
no
No
cheddar
Barney.
bobs, no Barney Fifes, no nothing like
And we
that.
taking extra batteries out of your front pocket.
That's right. That's right. But
All
yeah,
right.
that's number 4 for me, Alex Rogan. Jump to your number 4.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and the one I was trying to save to last. I feel like you wily coyote over there, you might steal him. So I'm gonna go ahead and get
Ooh.
JJ McQuaid.
Oh,
Oh, Lone
what?
Wolf McQuaid.
That was my only big one I was gonna take. If
Are
I
you
took one,
serious? Did I do it? You
yes, yes,
I knew you were gonna have him on your list. I knew it.
dude, that's the first one I wrote down when I wrote down names was JJ
No
McQuaid.
way.
Yes, matter of fact, my top 2 I wrote down first one JJ McQuaid, John J. Rambo.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome, dude. I knew you were gonna say that. I was gonna save that one for last to surprise you, and I'm like, wait a minute, he's coming up with some good stuff. He's gonna have McQuaid. He's gonna have Lone Wolf on his daggum list.
Yeah, I was gonna, but
I sniped him.
you said no, sir, no,
No
sir.
sir,
We, I
JJ, my
guess,
pick.
I guess I'll have to go ahead and go with my other big pick,
Okay.
and just make sure I get one of them in there. Or I don't know, man. See, it's hard to say. I could go with the other big pick I just mentioned in Rambo. I could go with Rambo,
Or
but
you could go. Are you gonna go with John McClane?
I didn't. You know what? I meant to write him down, but I guess I didn't. I don't see his name on
Oh
here.
wow.
Um, but it's man, I don't know if I want to do it or not, or stick with two or one more. Oh, this is my last one.
Yeah, this is number five,
Man,
bro. This is it.
man, that makes it even harder now.
I'm so glad I got JJ.
Man,
That'll make you think now.
I'm gonna
I'm
stick with
gonna
my
have to
list
think
of
some more now.
Luke Skywalker was my big one I picked. I'm gonna stick
Yep.
with that and go someone lesser known to people. And I want you to know that my fifth pick is people will hear my honorable mentions and be like, why didn't you take him instead?
Right.
But I want to be that person. I want to be different. And I want you to know this guy's an excellent swordsman.
Hmm.
Excellent swordsman. And he's on a mission, almost like a vendetta, if you will, to kill the man that killed his father.
No,
The
no
man, the
way. You're
man,
about
the
to
man had 6 fingers.
say.
Hello, my name is Inigo Montoya.
Dude, no, yeah, you had to pick that one. You had to go with that one, dude. I don't even care who was on your list. I don't have that. I don't have Ingo Montoya on my
I
list.
mean,
That's
he helps rescue
so
the
good.
princess, right?
Yep, yep, he
He's
did.
hero along with the rest of them in
Yeah,
there.
man, absolutely.
Little lesser known,
That's perfect.
bringing attention to the Princess Bride.
Hello, my name is
Wait,
Ingo Montoya. You killed my father.
prepare
Protect
to
me.
die. Wait to hear
Mm.
my honorable mentions when we get to it in a minute,
Mm.
though. All right, what's your number 5, man?
Mm. I'm having to do the same thing, man. I'm having to just like here. Um, I gotta go with this one. And the reason why I'm gonna go with this one was because I back then I went against the grain, and I still go against the grain a lot of times. Uh, Everybody that hated on him still watched his movies and loved him back then. He wouldn't have been as big a star as he was. But this was the one right here. This was the movie that put him on the map, that made everybody like, whoa. I gotta go with Frank Dukes, man. I gotta go
Mm,
with Frank Dukes for
do you
Bloodsport.
do you know why I didn't pick Frank Dukes on my list?
Because Frank Dukes is the real Frank Dukes is a sham.
Yeah, phony.
He didn't do none of that
Oh,
stuff.
he's some phony baloney.
He is phony baloney. So we're gonna throw that disclaimer out there. But Bloodsport, dude, that movie, yeah, that movie was awesome. The
Not
King of the
bad.
Splits.
Not bad at all. Not bad at
Not
all.
bad at all. Heck
All
yeah.
right. Well, that's my 5 and your 5.
Heck
I'm
yeah.
gonna give you my honorable mentions.
Give me them
Of
mentions.
course, you know JJ McQuaid. I told you was top of my list.
Yep, yep,
I scratched him out. John J. Rambo was my second on the list.
yep.
My next one I didn't pick was John Matrix.
Nice.
And here we start getting to some lesser ones. I got He Man, Dolph Lundgren.
Nice.
I got Bruce Leroy.
Oh yeah.
I almost put Shonuff as a villain, but I thought I can't. I don't want to put them. Their arch rivals against each other.
Who's the
Besides
master?
Shonuff, but Bruce Leroy catches bullets with his
Yeah,
teeth.
he did. Show enough.
Um, uh, then I got Rocky Balboa
hmm
and Flash Gordon.
Oh, phenomenal.
Sam Jones and Flash Gordon.
I
So
think those are
when I
phenomenal
was
picks.
debating overtaking Inigo Montoya,
hmm
I had outside of him waiting to take his place Flash Gordon or Rocky Balboa or Bruce Leroy or He Man or John Matrix or John J. Rambo. And of all that,
Right.
I took Montoya.
Heck yeah. So I let my list kind of flow. I just kind of wrote it down. And then when it looked like I had enough names, there's where I was going from. So I do have some big ones on here,
All
which got
right.
crossed out pretty immediately. But it was a toss up between, I decided once I wrote Thulsa Doom down that I was not going to do Conan. So I instead took uh, Duke, no, what was his name? In Predator. So I took the character from Predator for Arnold.
Oh, Dutch.
Dutch. Thank you, Dutch. And then of course I got Indiana and Rambo. And then I had John McClane. And then my last two would have been Mad Max and RoboCop. And it was real hard to choose between RoboCop and Frank Dukes. And be honest with you, like I almost picked RoboCop just now.
I almost put RoboCop on there. I almost put Axel Foley on my list.
Oh, that would have been a good one too. I like that.
Yeah, almost did. Didn't do it though. Man, well, this has been a fun episode. These top fives are always fun.
Absolutely, I love them.
They're hard to put together sometimes because you got to just really make up your mind. You're gonna go with it and run with it and
Yep.
be different, or you're gonna be like the common everyday guy that picks the same ones over and over. Let it not be
Mhm.
said of all the other '80s, retro movie podcasts out there that we took the easy road and
That's right.
took the big names. We a
That's right.
little bit for we dug a little bit deeper than that. We'll say.
Yeah.
So, well, we're at the 50-minute mark, believe it or not. We have talked that long. And we're going to start wrapping things up. We got to let you know about the social media where you can find us at Facebook and
Hmm.
Instagram at Retro Life for You. The same thing with the email. If you want to email us and let us know what your top 5 villain and top 5 heroes were, please feel free to do that. Once again, Retro Life, the number 4, YOU at gmail.com. Uh, you can go to the website if you don't want to just listen to the podcast on as you're driving down the road or something and you're at work and your boss lets you play music or things like that. You can find us on YouTube there, and you can go to our website, as I started to say, not just YouTube, at retro life the number 4 the letter u.com. You can stream us directly from the browser or hit the show notes, and you should see the link to the video already in there, especially if it's a few days old at the very least. The first day it comes out, I have to wait till that night before I can put it in. So there's that. And Travis,
Yes,
I
sir.
know, I know that you always have something absurd to leave us with, but
I
being that
got
we're
something totally
super,
absurd.
I said some superheroes and villains, I wasn't sure if you were able to come up with anything on that.
Absolutely, because I've been watching a lot of documentaries lately, and I've been watching a lot of stuff on the Avengers, especially how Tony Stark is playing the daggum uh supposed to be Doctor Doom now. But
Right?
I found out this piece of information. Do you know what Chris Hemsworth's favorite thing to eat with salsa is?
What?
Tortillas.
Thor tears. That's awful.